Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 10 past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to The Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. Good morning to each and every one of you that are looking to us on 91.1 FM. In your maxis, in your taxis, in your PH vehicles, in your buses, at your home. All my drivers, a pleasant good morning to you. Good morning to all of you that are looking to us online on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, 648 Television, Irvin, his wife, all of you on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube, not forgetting at Talk City 91.1 FM on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm going to say a pleasant good morning to Nazali and Mr. Ali, good morning. Dian, good morning to you. Bujam John, good morning. Raul Prasad, good morning. Marilyn Sicharan, a pleasant good morning to you. Trini Nairo, good morning. Pearl, Daniel, saying a pleasant good morning to you. Oh boy, Carmen, good morning. Samantha, good morning to you. Rajendra Maharaj, good morning. Tara Reyes, good morning to you. Hey, Raghunandan Heda, good morning. Rishi, good morning. Peter Samlal Singh, good morning. Ramona Singh, good morning. Viram Raghunandan, good morning. Ann Munsami, better known as Santa Cruz, a pleasant good morning to you. Premraj, a pleasant good morning to you. Bomati, good morning. That's Rampol, eh? Pamela Palu, a pleasant good morning to you. Tara Ramsamud, good morning. Monica, good morning.
Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is
Hey, Timal, good morning.
awesome in power.
Hey, Jamila Khan, a pleasant good morning to you. Elizabeth, good morning. Gaza Trini, a pleasant good morning. Afrina, Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you.
Our God is stronger. God, you are higher
Lenora Komabach, a pleasant good morning.
than other.
Ann Pollard, good morning. Dave Mirage, a pleasant good morning.
In power, our God.
Wendy and John, good morning. Michael Scotland, good morning to you. Bisnath Prasad, good morning. Hey, Kendrick, how we going, man? We had a nice conversation yesterday, Kendrick. Yeah. I will alert, Kendrick.
What can stand against?
Hey, you Brady Bunch, a pleasant good morning to you.
Who could ever stop?
Joanny, Jagroup, a pleasant good morning. Jillian John, good morning. Anthony Ford, Desmond Hines, good morning.
Stand against.
Nice.
Stand against.
Hey, Jamasi Prasad, a pleasant good morning to you. Oh boy. Ravi, aka Postman.com. Father, everybody that are local, a pleasant good morning to you all. And let me say happy belated birthday again to Ravi. Oh gosh, boy.
You turned in
Donna Lewis, good morning. Ishmael Khan, a pleasant good morning to you.
the eyes of
Ima,
mine. There's no
Balio, good morning.
like you,
Mubarak, good morning. Jason Jeffrey.
like you.
Freddie Brown, a pleasant good morning to you. Soka Dolly, good morning.
Into the darkness you shine. Out of the
Inship,
ashes we
good morning.
rise. There's no one
That's Millet, eh?
none like you.
Yes, a man to all of you, good morning.
Our
Hey, Sheldon, good morning to you.
God is stronger.
Gloria,
God, you are higher
how you going, girl?
than any other. Our God is
Hey, Dindia Ramdas, a pleasant good morning. Davika Balkaran, good morning to you.
our God.
Radhika, how you going? Good morning. Felix, Monty, good morning. Dave,
Into the dark,
all of you, a pleasant good morning.
out of the ash
Trincia,
we run.
Hira,
There's no
yeah.
like you,
Good morning to you, Trincia.
none like you. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God.
Hello, Mr. Pleasant good morning to Director Snipes. A pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad, Tobago, and of course the wider world.
Nice. Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you.
Yes, indeed. Of course, a pleasant good morning to you as well, my friend. Of course, in Trinidad, east to west, north, central, Of course, our friends in Tobago, we have not been hearing from you in the way that we normally would expect, but I know that you have been engaged. Fali did return to Tobago, and of course, talking about food security, etc. So I'm certain that you are sharing and lapping up, of course, some of the ideas that would have been gleaned as a consequence of that trip in the Caribbean recently, more specifically, of course, in Kitts Nevis. And then, of course, wherever you are, streaming at the World Wide Web or listening or viewing us, of course, in whatever part of the world you are, a pleasant good day to you, especially those, of course, who are in the Middle East at this point in time, particularly our diaspora from Trinidad, who, of course, may be experiencing that traumatic experience, talking about bombs and, of course, the noise associated with it and sleepless nights, etc. Of course, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have indicated that there is a registration process. Find your nearest embassy or consulate, and there is a registration. Of course, locally, the families or parents of those who may be abroad, the loved ones who are here, you have an opportunity as well to register. I think there is a detail as to where, how, and of course, you know why. To just in case there is need for emergency evacuation, that we know where these Trinbagonians are, so that, of course, the government can take the appropriate action. So I think that is a very proactive move in terms of the realities and the existential situation across the globe, geopolitics and war in the Middle East between the United States, of course, Israel, and that of Iran, and broadening it, of course, to the other Arab countries. That being as may, of course, my friend,
yes.
I see that we have a state of emergency.
Well, yes, we do. What I watch at now, feel go check your levels, Raul Passar. You're saying the volume low, but I want to believe it's you alone, because everybody else would have said the same thing. Quite sure we director don't check his levels already, and it is fairly, I assume it's all right. Anyhow, before we go into this next state of emergency, hundreds of migrants show up for registration. Lennox Smith. What, it's the deadline or something? 100 show up.
Yes. Arthur Bolden Stadium was packed with persons, but just as typical Trinbagonians, and maybe people who might have been skeptical before. I think they probably now find some degree of confidence in the whole process, because people were being snatched. I understand on the outskirts of these registration exercises for one reason or another, and people were skeptical. But I suppose as the deadline draws closer, people.
When is the deadline?
That I would not guess. I would not guess at this point in time. But I think it's had to be the end of this month, right? But I'll check that out. But the point is that people.
Yeah, what to do for me?
People are flocking.
The message.
Yeah.
Play the message for me now. The migrant message. Let's see. I think it do have the registration date and I think deadline in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Play that. That's very important. It's very, very important. We need to be registered. And I will call somebody to talk that in Spanish for all of them who in their maxis and taxis and all that kind of thing traveling right now. So they will understand the importance of it, because again, as Minister Roger Alexander stated, after that deadline, if all they do register, whether they're working in a grocery, a bar, a clothes store, wherever they're working, so long so they can't show that all they are registered, we picking up all they one time, pouring all in jail, and deporting all they one with immediate effect. Whether all your children here or not. So it's a very, very serious thing that you all go and register, Go and register in order to avoid that. All right, it's until the 31st of March. Somebody, Joyce Ram Ramsey. So you may not need to. Oh, no. Play it.
Oh, the message is no longer in the system.
Oh, it's not in the system. Well, I trust that Joyce Ram. Lennox Smith will still check online too. She's saying the 31st of March is the deadline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that seemed to be it because my information is in 30 more days. So within 30 days. So yes.
Within 30 days.
Yes, so his songs in line with the end of the month. Yeah.
Right. The Muslim groups support of U.S. attack is careless. Yeah, the head of the Islamic mercenary. Let me get it.
I hope it's not mercenary and it's closer to missionary.
Yeah, missionary. Sorry, missionary.
Oh,
yes, no.
So I want to make sure because a mercenary is a a hired gun.
It's a hired gun. All right, we getting it now.
Mercenary, yes.
The mercenaries is a hired gun. Yes, no. Oh, shucks. Well, why my phone reload? What you have there in the headliners, Lennox Smith?
Quite a number of things, of course. Again, we on the ground report always say that we hate to be correct, especially where critical matters are concerned, and it may, if not pursued, be to the detriment of the population, particularly the grassroots, the underprivileged, and the downtrodden. And of course, another issue like that has come up in the Parliament, of course, where there is legislation being debated with respect to parental. Remember, we used to talk about parental responsibility legislation. You and I would have been talking about that from time immemorial on this program. Well, the government has, of course, pursued that course. I think is a bit harsh, however, the way how we would have recommended. I think they have gone for the jugular, so to speak, where parents will now be, once the legislation is passed, be vicariously responsible for their children's act. And I think we were recommending that at least let the parents, both parents, at least attend court if there is a court matter, because of course that is in situations where a child, a minor, one that is below the age of 18 in our jurisdiction, would commit a crime that otherwise, if adult had committed it, of course they would have been given the full brunt of the law, so to speak, the criminal law in particular. Of course, the present government has gone for both civil and criminal. Civil in the sense that if the child would have damaged properties and so on, they will be held vicariously responsible for whatever compensation that is required. And of course, on the criminal side, where they might have fight, wound someone, God forbid, even kill, but of course I'm not going there. I'm just saying if they wound someone, if they bully someone, etc. Well then, I believe that taking both parents, insisting that both parents come to court at least, I think will go a tremendous way. Something like the Seatbelt Act, as opposed to saying that they are responsible for the child's act in itself, and of course, and they would be prosecuted accordingly. I don't think that is fair. I don't think that is required at this point in time. But the government has its agenda, and of course is determined to eradicate this scourge, and therefore they're probably going straight for the jugular as opposed to doing it incrementally.
Nice. Trinidad and Tobago, the lines are open to you. The lines are open. Let's see who will bless us with that first phone call. Who will bless us with that first voice note? All right, let me say pleasant good morning to Denver Mohan, man. Neil De Silva, Councillor Neil De Silva, Valencia West. Darren Mohan, up in Vega. All Grandy people, man. Grandy people are pleasant. Good morning, teacher, and every one of you. Timothy Roberts, all of you. Here what I need from you, Lennox Smith. I really need you to just give my the headliners, my papers, and them here when you get on the phone, the Guardian, the thing. The page and them all just gone white. So, look, I've gone white. Avex. I can't say.
No problem. We can make a
but don't liberate too long on it. Just I just want touching.
No, I wouldn't. I just thought those were two things. Well, of course, the other one immediately would be that of the former acting commissioner of police, of course, a former McDonald Jacob, and that in his with respect to his involvement in the Brent Thomas matter and, of course, the missing files. It appears that the former Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Narcoleptic Hines, as he's fondly called, his name is calling because, of course, as we know, there was this piece of news where, of course, he suddenly showed up at the ministry, and up to now we don't know exactly what it may, and therefore he have himself to blame if, of course, his name is calling in this entire scenario that is unfolding.
So they say the file's missing. But anyhow, let me take this call. Caller, good morning to you.
Two files, one from the police side and one from the ministry side. So it seems as though it's a conspiracy. Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning. Good morning,
Lennox Smith.
Anderson Wilson and the whole of the
director. Andy, so much, yeah? And you can't doubt or trust anything where Fitzgerald Hines is concerned. I think he was the line minister, he was the Minister of National Security below that Brent Thomas issue on matter.
Yes, he was.
Well, I'm yet to go look out with Fitzgerald Hines. Remember at one time, he said he wanted to beat him and he heard about 150 people cursing him but his mother. But he made out my voice. I don't need my files gone missing too as well. I have to go to High Court for something I didn't do. So we calling on Fitzgerald Hines this morning. I calling on him. I, Anderson Kenville Wilson, calling on Fitzgerald Hines. And next thing to Andy, with that great initiative was taken up to provide employment via the Highway Division Works with the Honorable Jillian John, the Honorable Karisha Amin. I see those was working for the carnival, their month came to an end, and then we had the 3 months by 3 months going on. I think it would be nice because what we saw was improvement, work being done for the money. We didn't see like it had no ghost in this thing that had been implemented. So we are asking for a continual of that process. So we call any government, we know local government election will be just now. And as much as people want to, that the handful who want to batter up the government, we want our government to look, we must say long live the UNC government. Right? And in saying that, we'd like some more employment throughout the country. Things, enhance the thing, have the highway looking more beautiful, the party bus route as people pass by, employment in the whole. So I'm asking this government, don't give up on employing those that you all could, and stretch forward that initiative. And Fitzgerald Hines, you know me for that calling thing, boy. I tell you when you're going to High Court with me, I tell you when you're going to High Court with me, you will be a normal civilian. I tell you, kneel long and pray. I tell you, Hines, about 2 years ago, that when you're going to High Court with me, you will be a normal civilian. You picky head Fitzgerald Hines. I hope my files is missing neither. Gentlemen, great program as usual. I look on and listening. To all the children, all go to school today and learn something. Listen to all the teacher. I don't know, something wrong with them children going tranquility. Something wrong with them. I don't know if it's the hair and the head or what. Andy, I look on and listening.
Good motivation, but we have to go for the first break, Andy. And when we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Okay, man.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here with voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I got right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. Yeah, it's 35 minutes past the hour. 35 minutes past 6. And you're listening and viewing the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. Looking for it's a clip in there to give people the idea of that very important meeting that the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa going on attend, I think it's Saturday. And the whole issue,
on the 7th.
So. And that whole issue of that mothball refinery and the importance of why Donald Trump wants to see both Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Mr. Ali of Guyana. Yeah. It's a very, very, very serious thing. So as I get that clip together there, what else you have on the headliners there, Lennox Smith?
Well, of course, the commissioner, it appears that it was a affidavit that was given some time ago, so there might have been some other investigation, clearly, because the matter was taken to court.
Wait. I like how I... So you are saying that the police gave an affidavit to the commissioner of police stating that there's a minister.
The commissioner.
Stating there's a minister. So that way the police hands clean because they have to go with the orders of what the minister said.
Stating that the ministry gave instructions.
The ministry. So whoever was in charge of that ministry.
But at the same time, when he was further interrogated, he then said that the minister, the substantive minister at the time was Fitzgerald Hines. So, I mean, your common sense will tell you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what has happened there. Right? So that is what
what is the implementations with that when it comes to the law, knowing that the police saying here where it is? Yes, we went and we pulled the man from Barbados. Well, we kidnapped the man. Right? Because the court said. But we only do that based on instructions by the minister. And
Right.
as you say, the
But
minister seems
this
to be...
affidavit that was submitted by Jacob also said that Brent Thomas volunteered to come back. But Brent Thomas is saying today that was never so. He never agreed. So you have that situation developing. Then, of course, you have on the Barbadian side, they have agreed to take responsibility and to compensate,
Right, but then,
as we like to say, an open check. And in Trinidad, we have our open check as well, because the current Attorney General has withdrawn, of course, the appeal matter that was being pursued by the previous administration.
Right, so, all right. But what people want to know is, what is the implications of all of this wrong? Are this going in a direction where somebody will be held accountable, be charged, whether it's a politician or the police?
I could see no other inevitability because, I mean, let's face it, a wrong was done. The courts in Trinidad says that it was kidnapping. The affidavit that would have maybe exonerated the authorities and even, of course, the Ministry of National Security, in spite of the missing file, said in no uncertain terms, the person who has been the victim of all of this, at the center of all of this, said he never gave consent. So it means, therefore, heads must roll, even if it means heads that were there before.
Right.
Yeah,
and what the people... Right, Lennox Smith.
Including, of course,
we know all of that. What we would like to have an idea of is who pinpoint to us in the maxis, in the taxis, who home, right? We know they kidnap the man. The man say he never get them permission. The police commissioner, the former one, say he came in voluntarily. That wipe out because Barbados have an open check for him. They're guilty. They say they're guilty. Trinidad and Tobago, the Attorney General withdraw the appeal. Meaning, open them have a check for the man too. Meaning, it's in concrete. The man was kidnapped. All two states technically say the man was kidnapped. What we would like pinpoint for us, we know all the nitty-gritties. Who are the suspects that we can personally say could be charged? Or if any charges could be laid. Who? We want to know. The president? Who?
Right in
the
the
commissioner
middle of all of that, at least four offices or so, 4 officers. The commissioner of police.
Right, so he can be charged?
Suzette Martin, who was head of the...
Oh, so that is her?
Yeah, she was head of the
so that the deputy commissioner
went and collected him, yes.
Right.
No deputy
not he, that's a she.
Police. Yeah.
That is a she.
And then, of course, you have...
Suzanne Martin is a she. You're saying he went and collect him?
Yeah, she went and collect. And then, of course, you have...
But why you say he? Show she here,
yes.
Why you say
you probably
he?
hear that. You probably hear that. I didn't say that.
Ask Snipes, boy. Snipes' ears clean.
We're bringing Snipes to this for. Right. So I know that she is a woman. So you see, she is a woman. Not he is a woman. Eh? You know, we can ascribe that characterization to others, but not this person.
Right, so number one to be charged.
And then, of course, you have the PS as well, and the PS.
Number 2 is the PS. So Suzette Martin in the police, the PS in the ministry that sign off on it, which is... so what about remember the PS take instructions by the minister? So the PS...
The minister as well, as 4 of them I mentioned.
All right, the minister...
Clean ears, the man.
All right, so the minister, which is Fitzgerald Hines, one more missing.
Yes. Okay, so you have Suzette Martin, the commissioner, the former commissioner.
Oh.
The former commissioner, yeah.
So it's 2 commissioners, the commissioner and the deputy commissioner, both of them involved. The permanent secretary and the minister. Somebody they had to make a jail.
Well, those are the entities or the former and current officers where the arrows are pointing. They will have to account. Of course, the government is saying, however, that they are contemplating via the Prime Minister of a commission of inquiry to get to the bottom of this. But that is to say, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, is now saying as well that she's looking at whether or not it will make sense if the cost of that exercise is prohibitive, having regard to the last exercise with respect to those 5 persons who met their various experiences,
right, but,
for which died. Yeah.
Right, but Lennox.
$15 million then, yeah.
Right, but Lennox, what real people will still want to know, again, look at the next direction we go. We pinpoint 4 people that could be a subject to be charged for the kidnapping of Brent Thomas. We pinpoint them. But yet still you're kind of throwing it off by telling us, well, the Prime Minister can tell about a commission of inquiry, and then she not too sure because of the cost, which I agree, we call it a long journal process. But why we need to have a commission inquiry if it's in black and white? That I can't understand. If you go and kidnap somebody, or anybody go kidnap somebody, you don't have no.
At the end of the day, the government will decide what they want to do, and of course, the commissioner, or the current commissioner of police, has some responsibility as well, and options.
All right, but again, watch it in this way.
Consult with the DPP and see what's happening. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, watch it in this way. To me, if you're doing a commission inquiry, is to get the nitty-gritty of exactly what happened. But what happened, done happen, and I don't think we need a commission inquiry to let the chips fall where it may on who gave the instructions. The man was kidnapped. 2 states give in.
I'm sure the
man have an
government is
open checkbook.
I'm sure the government is listening and taking copious notes.
So now I want a legal mind to tell the pitbull, tell the people in the maxis, in the taxis, in the PH vehicles, because if we kidnap somebody, it has no commission inquiry so long as it's open there. Yeah. You understand? They will come and charge me.
No, you're right. So the option, the ball is in the government's court. I think the evidence is very pellucid, very conspicuous, very probative in terms of whether you could take the matter, when you would have taken the matter to court. So all you need now is the advice of the DPP and see after, of course, doing certain
Jesus Christ.
things.
So now we still have to wait. With this DPP, they see things black is black, white is white, and say blue and green, you know. So we have to wait for he or the current commissioner.
Well, ultimately, because it's a high profile, it obviously is a high profile matter. Very high office holders would have been involved, and therefore you would need the highest level of scrutiny,
right,
and legitimacy,
nice,
to effect some kind of prosecution.
And Lennox Smith and Director Snipes, these is the kind of things where the layman, the average citizens watch and really want to know what's going on. And these is the situations why they don't have that confidence in the police service, the DPP office, and they don't have the confidence in the politicians. These is the situations. But we still will wait to see where this unwind. Because, again, it is plain to see, it's open. 2 attorney generals give up. They agree with the judge's determination of the whole thing. Right? The man was kidnapped against his will. The man have an open checkbook in Barbados and in Trinidad and Tobago. Somebody gave the order for the police to kidnap the man. So we as the average people want to know why anything else should take so long. Understanding those Snipes. Hey boy.
Yeah, but there's a process. So they're going to tell you about natural justice. They're going to tell you that you must face, if you're accused, you must be given opportunity.
Well, that must be for all of we too.
And all of that.
Well, it must be for all of we.
I was just about to say that.
That is the argument. But they will say that has always been so. It's just that, of course, the poor folks in the society don't have time because they are so concerned, of course, with daily living, the irkness of daily living, the need to put food on the table. That will fly over. That will even though they could pursue it and they have the same options, they usually do not pursue it. Is you and I had to get involved and cajole them almost to take action and so on. I have seen that over and over.
All right,
Yeah.
Director Snipes, I want to feel you on this one because you come from the natural community too. You listening, understanding, viewing. You feel what I say. Could you explain again in your way?
It's basically seeming to the public that there's one law for one set of people and a next law for another set. And the law must be perceived to be fair and just. You know, when things like these happen, we have a lot of people that turn a blind eye, but we must remember at all times that we have two different sectors in society. And we have a sector looking on that feels as if the law is not for them when we have things like these happening. You know, so come on DPP, come on Trinidad and Tobago.
Don't you believe if it is, for God's sake, these independent offices where it's blatant, a man was kidnapped. If the now is to put things in action and let people suffer the consequences of their actions, would it not send a message out there that will at least have many other public servants and many other independent officers, people thinking independent, and not be swayed by politicians? And even if the politician and all had to feel the brunt by the decision and breaking the law because they break the law.
I mean, we really at a time where we want to see the people in high office be called to account for the things that they do. This is the time in society that we want to see that the nation has developed in such a way that the people are looking on to see, okay, so when they do something, let's see what's going to come out of it. Let's see if our justice system is really working in this country. You know, I totally agree with you, Andy.
Nice. Let's go for that quick needed break and come back. We're going to open the lines because Trinidad and Tobago, we have to understand. As Director Snipes say, and as Lennox Smith always say, at least the law must perceive to be open and balanced, boy. Oh God, all of this is open. They kidnap the man. Somebody get the order. How hard it is for just the paperwork to happen for somebody to be charged. Where we can see, well, the law is not only for the smaller masses, it's for everyone. And it will set a precedent. An unprecedented precedent too. Jeez. Go ahead, Director Snipes.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Inspired by actual events.
Everybody has a fear something, right? Well, so do I.
This is Janine. Despite resolving an incident in the past, Janine developed the fear of late electricity bill payments.
Current gonophobia is no joke. Sometimes I would even black out. It was horrible. I felt so afraid and powerless.
Thankfully, Janine took charge of her life when she was encouraged to sign up for TNTech's free online e-bill service.
E-billing is such a brilliant idea. Signing up was a breeze, thanks to that knowledgeable CSR. And now I have the power to pay my bill on time, fearlessly. Thanks, TNTech.
Visit ttec.co.tt to sign up for e-billing today. TNTech, the power to make it work.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead. Because when women rise, we all rise.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues and the stories that matter most to you, this is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
We are back. It's 7 minutes to the hour earlier. It's 7 minutes to the hour. While I'm just trying to load the WhatsApp and all those various things here, because it has some very important clips that I would like to play again to give you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the knowledge of exactly what position we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are in at this point in time when it coming to that mothball refinery and the very strategic moves by the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Andy, and good morning to the Lennox. Igor Martin inside again.
Good morning to you.
I'm hearing that we are under a state of emergency again. Is that true? And the other issue is...
From the information we have, yes.
Right. The other issue is, why are we at this stage? The police have a department, crime and policy analysis division. I believe that is a division that lack foresight and lack competence.
Good day, Andy.
The other issue is what we have to do. We have to make some rampant changes, and I believe our Prime Minister is capable of that. As Farley has said, she has more BALS than a lot of CARICOM leaders, and are going with that. And this, as a citizen policy analysis of the police, this is what I believe has to happen immediately. I highlighted those areas yesterday, and I'm coming back to cement them there. The police service commissioners must be removed. The second division officers is a dysfunctional officers. They are focusing on the cart before the horse. The horse is the police organization, and you have to fix that first before you get all the frills, the trills and the frills of the second division we call the cart. The PCA has to be revamped and the personnel have to be changed. That gentleman said the TTPS was the biggest gang. Has he done anything to change that? And the DTP office has to be, the personnel has to be changed. I believe we have the system, but the resources in these four areas, organization, have failed us because the people lack competence and lack foresight. Let me give you an analogy of why it is dysfunction. We have a DCP who went after a commissioner of police, right? When you go in after the top notch, you must have all your ducks in a row. How can you go to the DPP about 8 times and the DPP run you and say you don't have enough evidence? That tells me incompetence. The same thing with Brent Thomas. They don't understand what a warrant is. So it tells me that they probably bypassing their own internal legal counsel and doing things as a runaway horse. 3 days ago, 5 days ago, the police, we as taxpayers, had to pay out $500,000 because the police had a warrant for a gentleman who lived in the, where they got the warrant for. He moved away about 6 years ago. So the warrant wasn't executed properly. They went to to a place and they ransack it, and the two ladies got $500,000 of our taxpayers. So that is why I'm saying those areas, 4 areas I identify, has to be changed. You remember Patrick Manning called a state of emergency to remove a Speaker of the House because the Speaker of the House, he believed, was not in interest. I wonder if Trinidad could do something similar like that. Remove all of these people forthwith under state of emergency because they're causing panic, they're causing homicide rate to go up, they're killing willy-nilly. And don't forget that the Commissioner of Police say the PNM want him feel. Go on. Have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nice. Remember this, because it's
But
coming up to the hour.
we did predict this. What I didn't factor in is so quick another state of emergency. But remember last week we were saying that there is a spike and one expects that it will get worse before it gets better, if at all. And here it is, of course, a state of emergency, responding, of course, to the concerns that we would have expressed on this program only last week, with respect to that Downton Street murder.
Good morning. It really helped to set me free. There was a time in my life when I wanted everybody to like me. If I heard one negative comment, I thought, oh no, I have failed. What have I done wrong? What do I need to change? One day I realized it's impossible for everybody to like me. And if someone chooses to misinterpret my message or my motives, there is nothing I can do about it anyhow. No, I don't let my critics upset me or steal my joy. I know most of the time it's not about me. The success God has given me stirs up the jealousy in them. If you are making a difference in your family or at the office or in your workplace, you will always have your share of critics. Don't allow them to stress you out. Simply recognize that the higher you go, the more visible a target you will be, and the more critics will want to take shots at you. Have a blessed day.
Nice. Director Snipes, take us to the news. Yes, Trinidad Tobago, this the 7 o'clock news update on TTT.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlath, has reiterated that bullying in any form will not be tolerated within Trinidad and Tobago's education system. His comments follow the circulation of a viral social media video showing a secondary school student being bullied. Dr. Dowlath emphasized that once investigations substantiate any misconduct, appropriate disciplinary action will be taken in line with the student code of conduct. He stressed that students must understand that actions carry real consequences and urged those experiencing bullying to speak up and seek help from a teacher, principal, guidance officer, or another trusted adult. Dr. Dowlath noted that the ministry has established support systems through its Student Support Services Division to ensure assistance is readily available to affected students. The minister also acknowledged the national response to the incident, saying he was encouraged by the way members of the public have rallied in support of the student and used the moment to promote awareness and dialogue. He assured that where investigations confirm wrongdoing, consequences will follow in accordance with the Student Code of Conduct. Additionally, Dr. Dowlath revealed that the ministry will soon launch an improved National School Code of Conduct, which will include a clear discipline matrix to guide consistent and fair responses to incidents. He reiterated the ministry's commitment to ensuring that every school remains a safe space where students can learn and grow. In other news, more than $250 million is spent annually to import corn into Trinidad and Tobago, with the bulk of it used as feedstock for the country's poultry industry. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Rathiram revealed that the heavy reliance on imported corn continues to place significant pressure on the nation's foreign exchange reserves. He explained that in response, the ministry is preparing to launch a 2-week pilot program in the Caroni area aimed at cultivating corn locally. Driven by the demands of the poultry sector, imported maize remains one of the single largest drains on the country's foreign exchange reserves. Speaking with farmers in Talparo over the weekend, Minister Ratiram said the ministry is taking steps to shift corn production back home, beginning with a short-term pilot project. The minister said the initiative is expected to help stabilize poultry prices and support farmers by reducing dependence on imported feed. He adds that once the pilot is successful, the program will expand nationwide and include guaranteed markets so farmers could know their returns even before planting. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for La Horquetta Talparo, Philip Watts, said discussions are underway to identify vacant lands across the constituency that can be made available for agricultural use, further supporting the ministry's efforts to expand local production. And in sport now, Trinidad and Tobago's young Soca Warriors made a commanding statement at the CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championships, handing St. Martin a 4-0 thrashing in their Group E encounter. It was a masterclass from TNT's Under-20s in Costa Rica. Chaz Williams got the young Warriors off the mark in the 19th minute, collecting a cross at the edge of the box, gliding past defenders and the keeper with some fancy footwork before blasting home. Dominic Joseph then made it 2 before the interval, a bullet of a right-footer from outside the box that left the keeper with no chance. 2-0 TNT. Josiah Kalicharan added a third in the 69th minute, and Giovanni Hospitalis sealed the route 4 minutes from time to make it 4-0. A dominant Group E win for TNT as they seek qualification to the FIFA Men's Under-20 World Cup. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all, prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit, unity, somehow, if Trinidad ever needed you, is now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
Oh boy. We are back. Time check. Yeah, 6 minutes past the hour. That's it, past the hour, yes? 6 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening and viewing The Ground Report. As I say, I needed to play a very important clip for you all, which I'll do so now. It will give you all the specifics of exactly the direction in which our refinery, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago are heading, and the interest in the United States government in making sure that that do happen. Lennox Smith, by time this thing I find like it interfering with my brain this morning. Every time I try for this thing come like a bad PNM. I can't understand this at all. It giving trouble, unnecessary trouble. You understand? And that's how the PNM are. A set of unnecessary trouble. It just don't work when you need it to work for you.
Yeah, Murphy's Law, but that is the PNM, and of course, you're lucky you ain't seen red.
No, but then
at least you seen white.
No, but then I had to talk like reporter. Like the WhatsApp no.
The targeting you.
Yeah, the targeting my WhatsApp or the targeting my phone. I can't understand.
Shaking the Caribbean, and it could change everything you thought you knew about. Breaking news is shaking the Caribbean, and it could change everything you thought you knew about energy, security, and U.S. influence in the region. Imagine this. The United States is not just talking trade or diplomacy. It's stepping in to directly shape the future of Trinidad's oil industry, while Guyana, the new Caribbean oil powerhouse, could play a key role in the game. At the same time, top leaders from both countries are preparing to meet Donald Trump in Miami to discuss matters that could redefine regional security and political alliances. What exactly are they planning, and why should every Caribbean citizen and anyone following global energy markets be paying attention? Stick around, because by the end of this video we're going to reveal a shocking twist that even most insiders aren't expecting. And before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. You're not going to want to blink during this one, because every second counts as we unpack how this story could reshape the Caribbean, its oil, and even its relationship with the United States. Let's start with the Miami meeting. Guyana's President Irfan Ali and Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar confirmed they are expected to meet President Trump on March 7th in Miami. Officially, the talks are about security cooperation and addressing regional challenges. That includes tackling criminal networks, strengthening intelligence sharing, and improving coordination between Caribbean governments and the United States. During the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasized deeper cooperation with the region, particularly on security and stability. On the surface, this may sound like routine diplomacy, but when security discussions are happening at the same time as major energy negotiations, it signals something much bigger. The United States has strong strategic interests in the Caribbean. Stability in the region affects migration, trade routes, investment, and geopolitical balance in the hemisphere. Strengthening ties with Guyana and Trinidad is not just about fighting crime. It's about reinforcing partnerships with two of the most energy-relevant nations in CARICOM. And that's where the refinery story becomes critical. Trinidad and Tobago has been actively working to restart the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery, a facility capable of processing approximately 150,000 barrels of oil per day. The refinery has been closed since 2018, and reopening it would mark a major economic shift for Trinidad. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar revealed that Secretary Rubio agreed to connect Trinidad with the U.S. Department of Energy to help identify the best partner to bring the refinery back online. That is a powerful signal. When Washington offers assistance in structuring energy partnerships, it's rarely just about commerce. It's about supply chains, influence, and long-term positioning in the region. Several parties have already expressed interest in the refinery, and Trinidad has also been engaging institutions such as the African Export-Import Bank. But the most important question remains: where will the crude oil come from? A refinery cannot operate without reliable supply. And this is where Guyana becomes central to the equation. Guyana has rapidly transformed into one of the fastest-growing oil producers in the world. Under President Ali's leadership, the country has seen dramatic economic growth fueled by offshore production. With increasing output and expanding reserves, Guyana has what Trinidad needs: crude supply. President Ali has signaled openness to collaboration, but he has made it clear that any agreement must be economically viable and aligned with Guyana's national interests. That careful wording matters. Guyana is open to regional integration, but it is also protecting its strategic leverage. Now imagine the alignment. Guyana supplies crude. Trinidad refines it. The United States helps facilitate partnerships and strengthen security cooperation at the same time. This is not just an energy arrangement, it's a restructuring of regional influence. A functioning refinery in Trinidad could reduce fuel import dependence, create jobs, and restore industrial capacity. But it also deepens Washington's involvement in Caribbean energy infrastructure. Energy infrastructure shapes political relationships. Whoever finances it influences it. Whoever supplies it depends on it. Whoever refines it controls distribution and margins. If Trinidad becomes a refining hub again, potentially supplied by Guyanese crude and supported through U.S. connections, the Caribbean energy map changes. Trinidad could reposition itself as a strategic gateway. Guyana could expand its export flexibility. And Washington could solidify its presence in the region's energy logistics network. This is where the shocking twist begins to take shape. The story may not simply be about restarting a refinery or holding a security meeting in Miami. It may be about shaping who controls Caribbean energy flows for the next decade. By aligning security cooperation with energy infrastructure development, the United States strengthens both stability and strategic influence at the same time. For some, this represents smart diplomacy and regional partnership. For others, it raises questions about long-term independence and bargaining power. The Miami meeting, the refinery restart, and Guyana's openness to collaboration are not isolated events. They are interconnected moves in a larger strategic puzzle. Security and energy are now intertwined. Economic revival and geopolitical positioning are happening simultaneously, and the decisions made in the coming months could redefine how power operates within CARICOM. Breaking news is shaking the Caribbean.
Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed. Well, that is comprehensive and clearly very focused and visioned because that could only be the inevitable consequence. And yes, indeed, having regard to what is happening in the Middle East as we speak right now. And of course, the Strait of Hormuz, for example, tells us that there is a need for energy security, not just in the Caribbean, but of course in the hemisphere. Not that the United States has now gravitated to an exporter in themselves, having regard to the discovery of shale extraction technology. But the fact is that we can be as independent as we would like to be, and with Guyana and Venezuela will of course come on board as well, and Trinidad of course having the infrastructure with respect of course to natural gas, etc. I think we in Trinidad are in a good place, and we did of course predict that on this program as well. It says that we didn't know it would have been so expansive and so quickly and so what I consider to be within reach in such a short space of time. So well done government.
Right, so that clip really and truly brings a clear idea or overlook of exactly the direction in which Trinidad and Tobago are going at this point in time to the this present government and Guyana.
And only because of one thing, the strategic move by the present government. Let's not waste time with that. You cannot take that out of the equation, because we had a government before that took an anti-United States position, even though claiming that they are neutral and of course attempting to keep intact their integrity and their independence, when in fact it is about cooperation and it is about acting in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago and the population. What we had was persons who were steeped in their ideological myopia and ended up, of course, putting Trinidad and Tobago in a more desperate and dangerous position. Thank God there was, of course, April 28th last year that created, of course, the opportunities that is now a begging for Trinidad and Tobago.
Very good. Let's go to some voice notes, man.
Sorry, I've been busy with things in Iran. but I got some important data released by the CSO in Trinidad Central Statistical Office regarding unemployment situation in TNT since the UNC took office between April 29, 2025 to now. Take a listen for yourself.
Data from the Central Statistical Office show unemployment rising by 12,000 people between April and September last year. The increase followed the termination of thousands of URP, CPAP, HDC, and forestry workers after the United National Congress administration took office. Shaliza Hassan Ali has more in this report.
Between April and September of last year, the Central Statistical Office has reported an additional 12,000 persons became unemployed. The CSO presented the figures on its website under 3 categories of unemployment between the second and third quarters of 2025, which is when thousands of URP, CPAP, HDC, and forestry workers were terminated from their jobs, many of whom can be considered unemployable.
The CSO is reporting 12,000 jobs were lost, while the PNM were saying 50 to 60,000 jobs were lost. Have you noticed the PNM haven't called any of their impromptu press conferences like they ordinarily will do, wasting the public time, debunking the figures? That's because they can't go against the CSO statistics, and they will look very stupid trying to do that. So I guess the PNM has got rotten eggs on their faces yet again with their lies. Have a great day, Andy, and let's be safe, friends.
Well, nobody here. Yesterday, the busman spread a whole lot of propaganda regarding the Iran thing, and I need to correct it. The schoolgirl, that school was on a military base. As of 2013, was part of a military base. You know what they did? They put a wall around it, saying, no, it's no longer. That is a war crime. To this date, when it was struck, it was 660 yards from the borderline of the military base. That is a war crime. That is use of human shields. And shame on the international media for not stipulating this. It's kind of like when this attack happened in Gaza, in the hospital. It wasn't an Israeli strike that took out the hospital. It was a Hamas rocket that fell short, landed in the car park of the hospital. It didn't kill 500 people, as they say, but it wasn't an Israeli strike. Busman talk about U.S. carriers got hit and all of this, and Iran is winning. It's nonsense. On the internet right now, it have any number of fake videos going on. It have one going on with the port of Haifa in Israel being hit by a bomb and the whole thing blowing up, half the city level. All AI is slop, not real. But people like the Busman want that to happen. So when they see it, they believe it, and then they spread it, and it becomes rum shop talk, and now it becomes truth. And that's the kind of messaging that has been used by certain authoritarian states to poison people in the West who hate the West, to make it look like they are superior. Which is why CARICOM joined with China and Russia regarding the Venezuela issue. They believe China is superior, but then Daddy came home and taught them a lesson. He talked about the USA losing so bad that...
Boy, nobody, boy. Where the lady thing for while you're playing, boy? Oh, God, nobody, boy. Yo, he's a wicked man. Well, let me continue, because this committee good information, eh? And I want to see America, the America basher. Yeah, he hate my he go call and dispute what nobody say. But let me play the next voice. No, they quick. Yeah, nobody. I want to hear nobody. Because he is a man that's doing research.
Morning, nobody here. So yesterday the Busman came and gave a whole lot of false information regarding the Iran conflict. I intend to correct it this morning. He talked about the schoolgirl strike. That school was part of a military base, part of an IRGC naval base. They walled it off, or they say they've separated it from the base. It was still 660 yards from the base when it was struck. That is a war crime.
Oh, it's the same thing. I'll get it back then. Thank you very much. And Patricia Reed is saying nobody. Patricia Reed is saying, she is saying that did school children get killed? Either or. I didn't find it, but I know Patricia Reed was asking nobody if school children. Oh, right. Nobody, you're talking skite. Did kids not die? Right? So you want to know if did kids not die, but nobody's explaining what it is the Iranian military are done. It come like they put a school in the compound of a military base and just block it off with a wall. That come like a papa at the Catholic Church compound. I just block it off. So let me continue, nobody.
Buildings,
infrastructure. The sitting ducks.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah,
that's like a shield.
Go ahead.
So they use their own people as shields.
Yeah, that's what has happened there. But then they are sitting ducks. So the consequence would have been inevitable in such situation. But go ahead. Let's go. Continue playing.
On a military base is a war crime. Clearly, it is a human shield. And having it full of children, knowing the raid is going on, war crime. And shame on the international media for not including that piece of information I just gave. Don't believe me, go look it up yourself. Because they did the same thing regarding the Gaza thing. Israeli strike took out a hospital, 500 people dead. It wasn't an Israeli strike. It was a Hamas rocket that failed and fell short and landed in the car park of a hospital. It didn't kill 500 people, but the press ran with it and did not correct it when they realized it was wrong. So generally in the media and social media, again, a lot of false stories and fake videos. You have one going on right now with the port of Haifa in Israel being hit and then the whole thing blowing up. And a whole lot of people have believed in that because these people hate certain things, and when they see certain things they like, they believe it. And then it becomes rum shop talk, and then it becomes truth. And if you don't cut it off, it's going to become the truth forever. You talk about the U.S. carrier being hit and all of this nonsense. It didn't happen. It did not happen. I know that the U.S., they're being defeated so badly, they have to ask Saudi Arabia and China and France and everybody to join. That's not why these countries are joining, because the IRGC has lashed out with their missiles and hitting people who weren't involved, and they say, well, you know what? We're getting involved now. And then he tried to make you believe that Iran has never done anything in the region. They never trouble nobody. I'll send a video after this one of the Saudi Arabian prince about how he feels about Iran. And there are videos about different foreign ministers and so on from the Middle East complaining about what Iran does. They've referred to Iran as, well, the Ayatollah as the Hitler of the Middle East, because his intentions as an empire. He keeps interfering in all of their affairs with his proxies, Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, the Muslim Brotherhood, injecting these things into their countries and taking it over. Lebanon, half of Lebanon is run and controlled by Iran via Hezbollah for decades. So Iran has been engaging in an empire, but he don't mind that. See, guys like him don't mind that Iran will kill 30 to 50,000 of its own people in January of this year, in a 2-week period. They don't talk about that. Because guys like him like revolutionary style government. So you like Cuba, you like China, you like Iran. Revolution that brought those administrations into office, right? But the problem with revolutionary governments is they are the last revolution. Anybody else coming to revolute, they kill them dead. And he's okay with that. And what they also like to believe about these revolutionary style governments is that they are all powerful. So he believes the hype that Iran has superior technology. Nonsense. They have about 1,500 ballistic missiles and 100 launchers. Most of that has been taken out. Then you have some cheap drones. That too will be soon gone. And that's it. Hypersonic missiles are nonsense. Don't believe me? Go Google it yourself. And the reality is they don't have that many of them, and they're not that good. And they can't hit military targets. So you know what they do? They point them at civilian targets, which is what Iran has been doing. Targeting, but he and all admit they attack a bus shed. No, Trinidad and Tobago is on the right path. This Prime Minister has put us on the right path ideologically, siding us back with the free world. And yes, interest-wise, we will benefit. Nothing wrong with that. Politics is about ideology and interests.
And based on what it is, nobody said there, let me just give all of that clip. Very, 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 very clip. Very, very, very quick by the Crown Prince of
You've been
Saudi
rivals
Arabia.
for centuries. At its heart, what is this rift about? Is it a battle for Islam? You've been rivals for centuries. At its heart, what is this rift about? Is it a battle for Islam?
Iran is not a rival to Saudi Arabia. Its army is not among the top 5 armies in the Muslim world. The Saudi economy is larger than the Iranian economy. Iran is far from being equal to Saudi Arabia.
But I've seen that you called the Ayatollah Khamenei the new Hitler of the Middle East?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he wants to expand. He wants to create his own project in the Middle East, very much like Hitler, who wanted to expand at the time. Many countries around the world and in Europe did not realize how dangerous Hitler was until what happened. I don't want to see the same events happening in the Middle East.
Does Saudi Arabia need nuclear weapons to counter Iran?
Saudi Arabia does not want to acquire any nuclear bomb. But without a doubt, if Iran developed a nuclear bomb, we will follow suit as soon as possible.
Wow. Lennox Smith.
Yeah, and I did my
The
own
United States and Israel.
Yeah, go ahead.
fact checks last night, and yes, I could concur and confirm that nobody is correct in every respect in terms of those AI-generated videos, which showed, of course, the Iraqis actually taking over, commandeering one of the carriers of the United States. All of that is on social media. And then I had to draw the inescapable conclusion, like, of course, our good friend, that it appears that there are those, and I did say it yesterday, and I think it's worth repeating, that is, of course, is a figment of people's imagination who have a dream and wants to manifest it by, of course, utilizing this platform in order to spread that, what I consider to be illusion. So that is what it is, and we have to leave it there. Yes, there has been, of course, a historical divide between the Iranians and well, of course, the Shiites and the Sunnis, which, of course, the Saudi Arabia is engulfed in, and that is their ideological difference, and therefore you're quite right. The ambition of that Islamic Republic called Iran is one of expansionists, and what is happening today is a culmination of the West saying we have had enough because we have been targeted, etc. And of course, and they have done no service to themselves by attacking, of course, whether they say is American bases on these Middle East states' territory. The fact of the matter is that citizens there would have been damaged or killed as a result of that attack, and therefore what they have done is arrogate onto themselves more hate from their Arab brothers and sisters. So this is the end of that regime, clearly, and we have to go for a break at this point in time as well. Let's go for the break, and when we come back, more on this very, very informative and, of course, hot edition of the Ground Report.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Nice. We are back. Time check. It's 33 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening and viewing the Ground Report on all our social media platforms. So when you leave your maxis, your taxis, your PH vehicles, on the old when you leave your transportation, get your phone and make sure you keep locked on to the Ground Report. Galaxy 100 is saying Iran never interfered with the USA. Is that truth, Lennox Smith? Because they're also saying
anybody who has
also
any,
saying that is asking for Lennox Smith. He's also asking for Lennox Smith to talk sense. Yeah, he's asking you to talk sense, meaning you're talking stubbornness. I want to believe Coin says 100.
Anybody with a modicum of understanding of the situation will, of course, disagree with that position, of course. Whether I'm talking sense or not, I think I've piggybacked on what Mr. Nobody has said, and if he attributes my comments to that of not making sense, then I suppose he would ascribe the same to Mr. Nobody. So, but of course, anybody, as I said, with a modicum of common sense, knowledge and understanding, of course, will understand where we are coming from, one, and why the situation in the Middle East is what it is today.
Okay, understood. So let me say a pleasant good morning to Sandy Jones. Good morning to you. Jimmy Rankrit. Good morning, my brother. You're up, boy. You're not going to work. Oh boy, take care, sleep on yourself when working. All right, let's continue.
Hey, Andy, you need to play my message. This guy who's talking boss man, this man is a clown. Propaganda machine. That's what this guy is. You guys need to stop playing the man propaganda machine. He's telling all that the man is a clown. When he talks about Samaritan, like he's Samaritan, what kind of Samaritan? And they had nothing like that. Let me tell you something. Let me explain to you, propaganda man, boss man, you're fool. Then come to. My nephew worked for Lockheed Martin. He's a hardware software engineer for Lockheed Martin. Okay? Software engineer, my nephew. They don't have no crap. They have sophisticated machine like that. So, Mr. Bossman,
the voice not so clear because I'm fighting up to hear exactly what you're saying, but I hear your nephew.
Hey, Andy, good morning. Andy, can someone, and then I said, can someone ask Patricia or whatever her name or she or he name is, how many people in Iran get killed when they were protesting?
Okay then. How many people? Boise! Makano, a pleasant good morning to you. You're calling while I think in here. Let's continue.
There was no bomb drop there, but there was like 30 or 40,000 people were killed. Okay? So after Patricia Reid, one of the people of Iran, I told her about killing the people there. Did she know how many people were killed, how much bomb dropped, and how many children died? I mean, the people talk between their nose, man. You know, I come to realize a lot of Trinidadians talk, a lot of Trinidadians talk because they have a big hole in the face. And I do not like to use that word they call garaha. I hate using that word now. But sometimes it drives me to say, okay, Andy, talk to you later, my friend. Bye.
Good morning to the Magnificent Tree. Mr. Annie, this morning I just want to put something into perspective. You know, we just believe that God doesn't work and just only believe what the Bible says and we're done with that. Like if the Bible cannot be working presently now and the Bible only work in that time and it stopped. So now as the world going on, God not in it. But that is the biggest mistake we're making because the Bible is still at work from that time until now and it will go on after this time.
And many times when God see oppression taking place, he has put things in place. And I want to tell people something. God does kill you, you know. Many times the Bible showed where God killed people for doing the wrong thing. God even bring a flood and kill the whole nation beside Noah and his family. In Sodom and Gomorrah, remember he only saved Lot and his family. And he said, don't look back. And Lot's wife looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. Right? It had a time when some of the Israelites started complaining against Moses and started blaming Moses for it and blaming for that. God killed 14,700 of them until Moses and Aaron had was to get incense and bone and pray to God to stop the plague. It even had where Aaron, imagine Aaron who was with Moses when they take the children of the children of Israel out of Egypt. He too, son, God killed them because they gave the wrong fire on the altar and God killed both of them. It even had a family who went against Moses again and God wiped them out, he and his children and everybody. Don't feel God doesn't kill children too. Remember, God killed the firstborn in Egypt. Every firstborn was killed. So when people want to use children and say when you kill children, you're wrong. God does kill. Because God have the authority to do. And when he give you the authority, like he give Trump today, I believe. Trump is the next Moses. This is happening by guess. All these people is being liberated. And just remember this. Israel is God's people. And that never changed. Just check yourself and see this little tiny place who so big and nobody can get rid of them. Remember what I'm saying today. God does work in this way, brother, and he at work again through Donald Trump.
Lennox, we on whether be director size, but Lennox, God has killed children. You see, remember, I'm not too sure, but because he gone biblical, I believe in science. I believe yes, it have a most powerful out there. It have a God out there, however it go. But God has killed children.
Well, of course, he does punish people, and we saw that, of course, over and over. The Bible is repleted with incidents like that when Moses came down and saw from the mount with the 10 Commandments and saw what the bigotry and the revelry that was taking place. There was that, and then of course you had the flood as well. So he punishes people.
All right, well, because I want to ask that too, and I'm asking that for everyone in the various religions and things too. So the Christian religion is saying that does it have anything in the Quran where God killed children? Allah killed children? Well, I just checking. Or the Hindu books with God killing children?
I'm sure we have a very expansive and knowledgeable and a variety of what I consider to be an ecumenical audience. So I'm not specializing in any one of the others. But certainly I would expect somebody from those who know will, of course, respond appropriately.
Right, because I'm more aligned with the Christian religion. So I want to see if
so I was talking from that perspective.
Right. So I want to see if my alignment with the Christian religion more than the rest. If it's only the Christian God kills children. So I just want to know, from our godly Muslim brothers and Hindu brothers and sisters out there, if and the Pentecostals, well, them is Christian, aligned with Christians. If Allah and Mother Lakshmi them in whatever the God, in which you always, which is one God, it have any history of God killing children in your books? That's a question asked because it may have people out there different because they're not with the Christian faith now, and go talk about Moses and thing, and that is just they don't believe it, and that never happened more. You know where this go? You never had an ark.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
well,
them
well,
various
well, you have the agnostics and you have the atheists, who, of course, the atheist doesn't believe in religion, not at all. And then you have the agnostic that believe that there is a God, but of course they don't believe in religion. And then, of course, you have the Satanists and all of the other branches of beliefs, and all of which is nestled in belief, of course, and some of which find themselves in literature. In one case the Bible, the other one, of course, the Quran, and then of course you have the Hindu not Quran. You have the Hindu books as well, who of course the Gita, yes, that's right, and all of them, basically is to carry the human being in an abstract way, in a spiritual way, to another level, and they all have that commonality to make the human being better in terms of their responses to one another on the face of the earth.
All right, well, SC Burhu is saying, no, Andy, never children, but bad humans. Right? So that person saying God never really killed children, but it's just bad humans. Right? The same SC saying God killed Wawan. Right? But again, I don't know. I just confused. I just needed to throw it out there. Right? Because I kind of don't want to believe God killed children, but the great flood, children die and thing too. So
obviously, yes.
So
including
I don't know.
That incident with Moses. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but let's continue. Morning, caller.
Good morning, the ground report. Good morning, Lennox, Snipes, and Andy. This is Mr. Tobago. This voice has been here for a long time.
Go ahead, Mr. Tobago.
Okay. Right. You want to know if God kills children? How about Pharaoh's child? How about every first male-born child in Egypt? That's children. Okay. Those are children. I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Bego. All right. Well, yeah, I guess within the Christian religion, God kills children. Well, so far, I don't have no evidence of that.
I was kind of asking Lennox if he look at it from a perspective of God taking his people home, not killing. But he was telling me if they die from an act of somebody else, that's not God killing them.
Okay. That is a very, very good question that I have out here. But we have no choice. We had to leave it floating.
Yeah, that's literally the person responsible. So they would then get their judgment for that.
Oh, boy.
You understand what I'm saying? But when God calls a child home from natural causes or whatever the case may be, he didn't kill them. He took them home. So, but if a child dies from, let's say, somebody, a crazy gunman just shoot up an area and kill a child, that's on the cause of. You understand?
The perpetrator.
The perpetrator.
All right.
All right, let's go to the lines.
I don't like to get into these kinds of discourse, but it's very interesting because at least you put a perspective as opposed to a fellow who would say, look, you're talking nonsense, but of course
killing children.
No, but they have nothing to contribute.
Yeah,
a person could say you're talking nonsense. A person telling me you're talking nonsense. I don't mind that, but you will have to tell me what is the nonsense, one, and two, what is the alternative? What are you in disagreement with?
Yeah.
And for me to determine whether your argument is superior. But if you have nothing to offer, then I consider you an empty vessel.
Totally
making
agree.
plenty noise.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally agree.
But,
let me take one more before we go for a quick break, boy. Hey, this one very interesting. Only the pitbull take 2-3 steps backwards because I really don't know.
Most times don't like to look at the supreme being God as someone who is a killer. We try to surround him with goodness, but there's also the fact that he laid judgment. So it's one or two.
I know that there are those who would say that he allowed it to happen and therefore vicariously. So
because Lennox, let me leave that open. Let me leave it open. But what? Like somebody online say, Almighty God is the giver of life, and is the taker of life.
And the taker,
who give
so
it can take it. So, boy,
he can do what he wants.
Oh my God.
He or she can do it. Right.
Let me go to the lines. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Andy.
Good morning to you. And where you calling from?
The Tarrant, you up?
Okay, and what's your contribution on the number one program, The Ground Report, this morning?
My contribution is God never killed Sharon. That was in the Old Testament when God walked on the face of the earth and Moses even couldn't see the face of God. When God come and sent Christ in the New Testament to die for us, crucified on that cross, all that was abolished. God died for our sins, and yet we sinned. So God didn't kill Sharon. In the Old Testament, when he killed the Sharon, he tell them, Mark, they take the blood, lamb of the blood and write it, the blood and write, put on the windows, so he'll pass over them.
Okay.
You remember he said, I will pass over you. That is the righteous one he will pass over. And who didn't have blood? He sent the angels. He killed the, so God didn't kill Sharon.
All right, but based on every religion, Trinidad and Tobago, you know what is Andy Williams' prospect? I'm just going to give a prospect. So in that way, I think it will bring back a levelist where we could continue digging into the everyday geopolitics and what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago by I just telling you all that my belief is heaven and hell is right here. Right here. War is hell. And the good you do in life while you're here is heaven. So I don't know how any one of you will take it, but that is a broad statement there that I made, where all religions have to understand. So let's, war is hell, peace and goodwill towards men, doing good is heaven. Heaven and hell, my belief, is right here. I have a religion which I respect to say that when they think, Lennox Smith is always talk about it, that there are 9 virgins waiting up there for them when they do certain things, and nobody never go up there and get virgin and come back and tell me, so I really don't know. Lennox Smith tell them that.
Well, you know, it will fly in the face of the rapture, where of course the Revelation will talk about the coming of the Christ, and then he is coming to take his people home, and we're talking about ascending, and that to me,
when they kill people,
so just beyond the realm of earth.
Right, but don't you say when they blow people and thing, and that how when they go there, there's some virgins waiting for them and thing. You're saying?
Yeah, well, in the case of Islam, yes,
Islam.
I did, yeah, but I use it in a very specific way. I was saying that if you are a jihadist, if you are one of those radicals, and you're asking me as a believer to put on to arm myself with a vest loaded with explosive and go in a crowd and ignite it. And ignite it, yeah. I am saying that I will tell that imam, listen, you go first and you do it. Because I'm a believer, and then I will come afterwards, because the whole idea is that I'm going to benefit from 7 virgins. So you too will also benefit. But what you notice is that they tell you to go, but they don't. Of course, because I believe.
You tell Imam go first?
Yeah, I believe. Imam, you go first. Yeah, you go first. Yeah, people, we have to go for a break, and when we come back more, we are not making a mockery, but I'm being pragmatic and practical. All right? So you can't tell me to go and damage people in that way and telling me that I will get 7 benefits later after life, and you waiting here before you go to. So you go first. All right, and let's go for the break, and when we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? I'm conserving energy. I switch your LED. At the stun of the AC. And I'm saving real money. It's our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We are back to Trinidad and Tobago. While that is a different conversation, really and truly, by itself, let's continue into the current topics and issues that are plaguing our country.
Well, formally, the situation with respect to the road traffic ordinance, bill or act, it has been formally passed, and of course, you have this situation where you are given 3 or 7 days period to fix before you are prosecuted or before you have to pay the particular fine. So it's 18 areas. I don't know if you want me to begin the process or not. But I want more to rest here.
All right, but no.
18,
don't begin it yet because
18 infringements. Yes.
Right, we will do it in the 8 o'clock hour because it's 4 minutes still. So let me just play some voice notes
yes.
by the time. Yeah.
Good morning. How many state of emergencies does the government of Trinidad and Tobago intend to have? They're having state of emergencies for every little thing, when it was they who offended the Muslim community by making such distasteful remarks about supporting USA, right, in the conflict they have with Iran. And no doubt, the Muslims are asking for a meeting with the Prime Minister before she goes and speaks to Donald Trump. So I don't know if it is that the government is fearful of a reaction from that sector of society. You see, they just act on impulse and have no clear-cut plan. And it also shows that they cannot control crime. Crime is skyrocketing, right? Last year, February, we had 40 murders under the PNM. Now, we are having about 56. We had 56 murders in February under different administrations, so there's no real change happening. Anyhow, I want to ask the Minister of Transport why yesterday there was a breakdown of transportation. No Arima bus, no Shogonas, Shagaramas, Digo Martin, and other areas from City Gate for about 3 to 4 hours yesterday. In the San Fernando bus terminal, they had 2 big old buses marked San Fernando Port of Spain. One was recently repaired, and another one has been working for some time. And they just left them on the terminal for hours and didn't send any bus to Port of Spain until about 7 o'clock in the night. So what is really going on? Is the country operating on autopilot? And we're not seeing the Prime Minister speaking and addressing the nation. She is going into hiding. As bad as the previous Prime Minister was, he could have come back from Miami, Florida, Iran, England, and the media could have spoken to him and asked him any question they wanted. We're not seeing the Prime Minister. This one.
Okay, can't play our next voice one because 1 minute. So Lennox Smith, your thoughts there, ready 30 seconds before Director Styles carries to the 7 o'clock news on TTT. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, I would have thought that Mr. Boss Mako would have apologized for what he said yesterday, having regard to the fact that it was detailed in terms of making reference to what he had said about the situation in the Middle East and, of course, the attacks that the Americans received. I noticed that he missed that and he went back to his usual bellowing of issues relating to buses. I hope he has heard me so that he probably would tell us whether or not he had made a mistake or that it was part and parcel of an agenda. As I said, he saw the one of the statues in San Fernando on the promenade there, the Gandhi statue, very clean, but there was, of course, a Marcus Garvey one just ahead of him, and he made no mention of it, of course, suggesting, as we have identified, that racial undertone that he tries to, of course, always build into what he has to say. But let's go for the break.
Chief of Defense Staff and head of the Strategic Services Agency, the council noted a sharp increase in violent gang activity since the previous state of emergency ended on January 31st. Several incidents involved mass shootings, ongoing reprisal attacks, and credible threats against police, prison officers, and other security personnel. The Prime Minister had previously warned criminal gangs that continued lawlessness would result in decisive action. In light of escalating violence and threats to public safety, Her Excellency the President declared the state of public emergency on March 2nd. She said this action reinforces the government's zero-tolerance approach to crime and its commitment to protecting law-abiding citizens and preserving national security. The Tobago House of Assembly is moving swiftly to secure greater autonomy for the island. That assurance came from Chief Secretary Fale Agustin during a media briefing on Sunday. Addressing a recent motion brought before the Assembly last Friday, Mr. Agustin expressed pride in his Executive Council's performance in his absence, noting that the decision to prioritize the matter was deliberate.
When we discussed at the Exec Council meeting, prior to me departing for St. Kitts, we decided we wanted to go into the House and have this as our first major motion. Because when I tell you I want us to move quickly, I want us to move efficiently and quickly. Speed and efficiency can happen in the same room.
Chief Secretary Agustin reiterated that the legislative process must be finalized by the end of 2026, stressing the importance of meeting key timelines.
My insistence is that by the end of this calendar year, We must have those bills before Parliament. We must have it passed. That will then give us a period in which we do the necessary bill out, because it's not a matter of passing it today and everything falling in place the next day. We will need some time thereafter to bill out all of the structures, the forms, and so on of the government.
Friday, Assemblyman Trevor James piloted a motion underscoring the push for a Tobago referendum, a move expected to pave the way toward achieving long-awaited autonomy for the island. In other news, a new study on trends in cesarean sections in Trinidad and Tobago shows that the rate for the procedure is high. The study, which was released on March 2nd, indicates that the C-section rate in Trinidad and Tobago far exceeds the levels associated with reductions in maternal and neonatal mortality. The report added that the significant disparity between the public and private sector C-section rates is suggestive of non-clinical factors potentially influencing the mode of delivery. The findings, the study says, are suggestive of an urgent need to review indications for C-sections to ensure that the procedure is used appropriately and equitably. Published by Zada C. Mohammed and Adish Serju Singh, the study looks at national C-section rates from 2018 to 2025. The study also forecasts an increase in the national C-section rate to 43.5% by 2030 in the public sector, up from the current rate of 38.4% in 2025, and up to 68.3% in 2030 in the private sector from the 2025 rate of 61.1% in 2025. In sport now, the West Indies senior men's team was stranded in India after their elimination from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup being hosted by India and Sri Lanka. In a mid-release issued on Monday, Cricket West Indies says international flight routes have been severely impacted by the regional security situation, forcing airlines to adjust scheduled services. CWI is coordinating with the ICC and airline partners to arrange the earliest safe departure for the squad and support staff. The board says players and officials were comfortably accommodated and in good health, and promises further updates once travel arrangements are confirmed. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar SC, officially launched a new premium passenger service at the Piarco International Airport during a ribbon-cutting ceremony hosted by the Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago ahead of her departure to the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis. The service forms part of a suite of new customer offerings at the country's international airports and is currently available to premium travelers, including Caribbean Airlines business class passengers and users of the Flyers Lounge, with plans to expand it as a paid fast-track option. The authority, supported by the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, reaffirms its commitment to improving the passenger experience.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's 6 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also listening and viewing us on all our several social media platforms out there. So when you leave your maxi taxis, your PH vehicles, drivers, only don't forget to remind them. You can always use their gadget, their phone, log on to our Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or they can get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube. Corridor Transformation. The Ground Report on YouTube. 648 Television, Irvin, Felix, his wife, them. Good morning to you all. Before my colleague Lennox Smith go into explaining, well, the law was passed with the fines now, and you all have a 3 to 7 days deadline based on what you're charged for, or else the ticket will automatically be given. Because you have to carry it by a station. You have to organize after your period. If you have a 3-day period, you have to fix. We have to fix in the 3 days and carry it to the station to make sure that they see it done. Or so he will give us that listing there just now. Before we do that, let me just run to these voice notes and them there quick.
Hi, good morning, guys. Well, I see we have a state of emergency again. But the thing is, the Prime Minister and the government, they have a responsibility to do whatever has to be done to fix this mess in Trinidad, right? Because the criminals and the lawbreakers and the gangsters.
Let me see you, Lennox. Stop hiding.
They are determined to have this place in a mess and murder after murder every day. Well, the government has to be determined to let them know it has to stop. You hear? If you call an emergency, state of emergency, once or twice and it ain't work, yes, call it again. Who vex the vex? Who want to say if that's the only way they could deal with crime, let them say what the hell they want. But the thing about it is something has to be done. But I am hoping that this time the police and whoever is the security people, I hope they would go in the areas where these gangsters are, because they know who they are and where they are. It's time to attack with full force. Go to these people, get these people, get the amount of guns off the street. You hear? It's time for action. Right? Something has to be done. Because if we call a state emergency and everybody just go quiet and rest down the gun and hide down the gun, and when it stops, they pick it up again, we will have no peace. You understand? Get the guns off the street, and it's time to start locking up, charging, and jailing these people. We must see some action towards the people who are bent on making this country unsafe and having the people uncomfortable and who want crime to continue. So, well done, government. Call you had a right. You call a state of emergency because you know that is what has to be done. Let all who want to talk, all like the opposition and all them PNM haters, let them talk. You do what you figure has to be done for Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to do and do and do, and guess what? Eventually, everything will be okay. Blessings.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, and all controllers. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Miss Santa Cruz. Good morning, Mommy Woodbrook, and to my dear and wonderful role model, good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey K. Where you is, and to the controller on the set. Good morning to my wonderful Prime Minister, hardworking, a woman with brains, a woman with everything, my role model. Good morning to Mother Bernie. I love you dearly. Good morning to Miss Woodbrook and to Miss Santa Cruz, and to all.
Good morning, Ground Report. Good morning, Director Snipes and TNT Busman. Again, take your time. Your narratives is very, 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 very dangerous. Let me tell you something. Our Prime Minister don't owe the Muslim community any explanation, right? what has happened over there. She has supported United States for many different reasons, right? And one of the main thing is to stand against terrorism, people who infringe on people's democracy, and she's standing for with the United States for liberating people who have been enslaved. The Iranian peoples have been enslaved for 47 years by an Islamic terrorist group, right? And I said, the thousands of people, where were the Muslim community? Where were the Muslim women? Where were their voices for all the 30 to 50,000 people that were murdered? Not just from casualty, they were murdered for just protesting. Where were their voices? Where were their voices for the thousands that were murdered in Africa? Where were their voices all this time? Let me tell you something. Our Prime Minister don't owe the Muslim community any explanation. Let the Muslims of Trinidad and Tobago mind their business, and fast is a holy month for them. You understand? Let them mind their business.
Lennox Smith, you ain't find that come across a little harsh to the end on the Muslim community, because I think they're minding the business. I don't think we could tell them mind the business. And I don't know. Just ask him, because I don't want it too sensitive.
Yeah, what I suspect that is operating in the mind of that caller is the built-in contradictions, the obvious and conspicuous contradictions. Because here it is, you have, as she said, the fact that all these protesters were killed. Then you have a situation where you are fighting some evil, but yet still you have extended to your fellow, what I consider to be Muslim states that are now ganging up and are now angry because you would have killed in the process members of their own citizenry. And so you have all of those contradictions playing at the same time. And therefore, the people, well, the Muslim, what I consider to be affectionists in Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know if they have taken all of that into consideration when they would have asked the Prime Minister to meet with them, simply because a statement was made that the government supports the United States in its right to defend itself against, of course, the possible nuclear threat, the billion of missiles that could reach or almost reach the United States or its ally, and of course its allies, I should say, in the Middle East, inclusive of Israel and that of Saudi Arabia, and indeed, of course, the refrain, if you want to call that, the focus on the Iranian agenda to, of course, get rid of Israel.
Okay,
which is an ally of the United States.
Okay, let me just play some other voice notes there.
God don't kill innocent people. It's just children of innocent people. Any wicked man does do them kind of thing, or the devil.
Okay, so he's saying God don't kill innocent people, is only wicked man. Is the devil is do that? Let's continue.
Good morning, Mikey, Lennox, and Andy. Andy, Lennox, basically let me shift the
narrative a little bit. Yeah, you want to shift the narrative a little bit?
To shift the narrative now. I believe everyone is on the war scene and stuff, but I just want to know what's happening local, so I will just make my small contribution. And my contribution this morning is basically on the food prices. With so much of the food price and thing going up and up and up, and people means can't reach, to get a decent meal when the day come, So the question is, with all these things happening, with the prices going, do you have any price control still existing that, they could hold some of these big businesses that have the groceries and thing running, to account that, look, you're buying something for $1, you're selling it over for $2, but don't sell it over for $100, things like that now. So let me see if we could, try to get these food prices down so that everybody could, when feel the burden, and let me see if we can move forward again. So My contribution is let me see what we could do with food prices. If it's somebody who's in charge of that or some minister, I don't know. But that's my contribution this morning. Blessings, everyone.
Well, I'll throw that to Lennox Smith. My knowledge of it is that we are open market. With capitalism, we are open market. It have nothing such as price control. It's for we the consumers to say, hey, you raise it by $1, we ain't buying it. Hey, you raise it by 25 cents, you ain't buying it. The price control, I think, is based on us. But again, Lennox Smith.
No, we take note of the fact that there are unscrupulous and price gouging merchants and exploiters. The government, of course, has a responsibility at least to talk about it, even though they cannot put mechanism in place to say this is illegal if you put 100% markup as opposed to a possible 30% markup. Of course, the counter argument is that you would have levied some additional taxes on us, and therefore we as business people have to pass it on to the consumers. But I say a bit of persuasion and a bit of humanity or humaneness and conscientiousness, of course, by the business community will certainly, of course, come to bear and make them understand that they cannot be so harsh on their fellow men, so to speak. So it is a matter of persuasion, but to say you could put mechanism in place to legally prevent people from putting a markup that people will not be able to reach or it would be difficult to reach, that those days have gone a long time ago.
Okay, about fine you pay it, real nice you paying it. Lennox Smith, Trinidad and Tobago business sector, don't give we no blind. They just raise the thing saying wheat up, oil up, gas up, peas going up, okra going up. And when to God's sake them thing going back down. You know what they say? Fertilizer went up. And when fertilizer go back down, you know what they say? But that is for all your wicked Trinidadians that still buying wheat thing, and we could raise it and dig out all the eye, and all they go still buy it because they always showing up on each other. Hey, I buying it no matter what. I want to show my neighbor, I go buy it. I want to show my family, I could buy, but you can't buy. So again,
Well, I read something only this morning, so I'm glad that that issue was raised. With respect, of course, to our food bill, I think it has gone up beyond $6 billion. And what the government has been doing is providing incentive quite a lot. And young people, I think you better take note. In the use of AI technology, for example, in the agricultural field. And there is, of course, an initiative for that with some degree of financial assistance so that you could reduce the import bill or generate food substitutes. So instead of flour, maybe we could use maybe cassava instead once we have it in sufficient quantities. So these businessmen, these middlemen, and they are unable to exploit us in the way that they are doing, and at the same time reduce the food bill.
Well,
we have a phone call.
Yeah, we
have a caller on this side. Yes. President, good morning. President, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, morning. Andy.
Yes.
Something ain't right with the people's regulations and wherever this is coming, if you get caught and so on. What I'm trying to say is, the government is giving the people ultimatums, which is within 3 to 7 days, 60 people to serve. Where the population say we give them 1 week to fix the road or total strike in the country? Would we be sounding correct here? It has to be a balance here. The roads is the reason why people's vehicles is in this kind of a state. And then you're throwing the gauntlet behind us and the roads in a very bad state in every part of the country. So we need balance here. Let me hear what you have to say about it. Thank you.
I want to agree with you. There is a need for balance. But let's go to the lines. A pleasant good morning.
Morning. All massive, whole tight. Morning to the magnificent, intelligent pitbull.
Hey, Mr. St. Joseph, how are you going, my brother?
Good morning to the brothers, man. Good morning. God blessings to the Honorable Prime Minister. Not forgetting massive mighty K, because long time I didn't hear that voice. I now get back a little radio. I want to tell the Honorable Prime Minister, thank you, the boss lady herself. You know, a very nice lady. And not forgetting my brother, the man who hold the love that rocket himself. You know, when you're going in that journey, you can't go over that journey without that rocket. We must all focus on that rocket to move forward, move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Because right now, the crisis, what's happening in the Middle East here, right now, we praying in Jesus' mighty name that things will get good in here because we have good leaders running our energy sectors. And I want to say God blessings to the Honorable Prime Minister this morning because the migrants this morning is feeling very satisfied. You know, they say when you do good, good will always, she always say that in one of her mantra. See good, be good, do good, and good will always follow you. We helping Venezuelan people over the years, and they will appreciate us. Right now, God blessings again. You know, I want to say we welcome the state of emergency back in town because the criminal elements, when they feel that the state emergency is gone, because yesterday I watched it on the Ian Allen program, every day is murders and robbery and all kind of madness. We must, and this time, we asking law enforcement to hold the bull with this horn. And we have to flush off these criminal elements. It's just a few gangs playing, causing mischief in this country. But I'm so glad that they are back in town. You know, the ground report is here to stay. God blessings to all my brothers, magnificent pitbull. I want to say something before I go, because I see you campaigning over hills and valley by mountains, all on the shore seaside. You know, and this is, at that time you was walking on your shoe, it started to laugh. Now it's a serious time because the people say that how Pitbull is the man, they know Pitbull. And I think first time we take that seat, God blessings to magnificent, intelligent Pitbull. And we not forgetting love, that rocket. We must come on board to move this country into a first world status. God blessings again. Back in town, boy. Welcome back.
All right, you get your radio, you're showing off. Next caller, man, you get radio, you talking there about that rocket. That rocket only fly for the rocket real fly for the last election. The rocket of love is a part of the coalition of interest. But I find like the rocket run out of rocket fuel or something. You need to let the coalition of interest, let the Honorable Pamela Prasad be censor, let the government know that the rocket need fuel. Hey!
Yeah. Well, it is said that what a meeting pass you.
All right, I had to get fuel, you know. And I want to see that rocket.
Yeah, well, you know, I said only yesterday I said that, you know, when situations like this occur, like you have a challenge in the society, like crime and so on, and then you have people there who, you know, have been in the vineyard, so to speak, and have developed projects and initiatives and so on that have yet to be, let's say, proven not to be effective, not yet proven not to be effective, and you don't use them, and of course everybody else come because they have influence and so on, and eventually, of course, they will have to rely on you. So in other words, I'm waiting my turn.
Oh man, I want to see in the Senate, Senator Lennox Smith, let them, hey, UNC government, put some fuel in that rocket and let that rocket land by the Parliament to the Senator. All right. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Malcolm X.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Special morning to you, Andy, the man with integrity. Morning to Mr. Lennox Smith and Mr. Sniper.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Snipes, yeah.
Now, I want to make a contribution this morning, and I want to congratulate the Minister of Sport that representing La Hoqueta Calparo. Why I want to highly praise him. I heard something on the news that it has some land in his constituency that he's looking for farmers. So it's a dream I will like the people of La Hoqueta, Malabar, and surrounding areas to take the opportunity to plant corn, plant cassava, plant dasheen, plant edos. I'm speaking about the young Africans and them on the block. All you could go in the place, plant, take all your smoke, but all your plant food and support what all your representatives looking, and it's a very good idea, one. Two, the crime in this country, Lennox and Andy. I thought when
Alexander come as minister. Because on the way you used to talk on the TV program, he did know partly everything and everybody to me. So I figure nice when he come in that ministry that we would see now the both same thing going down. But then like when it go down, it come back up because look, we back in our position again. And another thing I hearing this morning on the radio, that some killing it had some way and it's police bullet. Then the next time you're hearing police uniform, army uniform. So that is the gang where we have to really deal with. That the biggest gang in the country that have all the rest of gang flourishing. So what I am asking Trinidad and Tobago is we have to have our own gang to stop that in the community. Because jump, everybody know everybody, but then to who you go and talk to get killed? Or your children, you think the prison officers and them is really carrying the drugs because they want to? It's because they've been threatened, they've been terminated. The way they call a big word, Lennox, you call them big word. I don't want to use no word with me and no about. But that's the problem. The police will living in the building in Maloney. The police will living in St. Barb's. The police and the soldier will living in Basilon Street, Picton Street, all of them. All you join with the youths and them. Let me see how we could help them. Let me see how we could implement things. Because, Andy, it's no lie. We go in and plant corn in Carani, but we could take some people from Lavantie and Nelson Street and place and give them land to in Carani to plant corn. So I'm watching. That is a fair thing across the board, because when you're talking, I might get criticized that African people only know to kill themselves, but then too, where the opportunity for the little African boys after P&M legalized weed and had them all over the place going mad with this roll on. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Let me continue with some voice notes there. Mother Bernie and Tobago. Yeah, we ought to get our style and everybody involved. So let's go to Mother Bernie. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What? She sent something Friday, man. I missed that. So let me just stick to today. Let me hear what she sent Friday.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Director Snipes and the real Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know. This police drugs hiding and moving is long time, and they keep saying from not now that they have blocks and nobody does nothing about it. But if you meet a man with a little thing, you start to beat him up because you want to take it away and you want to carry it where you're supposed to carry it. It's years now. Remember when the drugs disappeared in St. Joseph police station and they say rat-eat it? This is going on a long time. That commissioner are always saying, boy, Gavero, boy, get up and do your work, boy. Get up and do your work. Something wrong in your service. And you're looking bad for the head of the security council, which is the Prime Minister. All you get up and do all your work, boy. This thing looking real bad. That is why Alexander said to give the evidence first to the police, but people don't respect police. People don't trust police. With all these things that going on, Alexander look for next thing to say, boy. Because you have to bring back serenity between the police and the citizen, boy. The citizens have to get back confidence in the police for this to happen. And every day is something with them. This look real bad. Let's see what you could do for me. This is not nice at all. Good morning, Andy, Mikey, Mr. Director.
We'll have to go for the break.
Lennox, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
I am so glad when I hear that person talk about food prices. We in Tobago have it real hard, and they're telling me how when them go down with the boat, they're going to come back the same day, and they have to pay guest house, and they have to buy food to eat, and they have to drink, and they have to this and that. And I don't think when they buy the goods and they spend overnight, that the goods raise overnight. When they meet up here, oh God, we can't pay. We had the Tyson box chicken was $2.80. Now we gone to $3.25. Now we gone to $3.30. I don't know, by the end of the week it might meet $3.50. And we have it real hard here. If the farmers in Tobago would have produced more chicken, we wouldn't have fight with a box chicken, boy. That thing real hard. And the groceries, every time you go, it gone up by $5, $10, $15, $20. A pound of goat in Tobago is $36 and all them kind of thing. We have it real hard, and we want somebody to do something about what's going on with them prices. And now that the boat on stream properly, let me see what they're going to say about the prices of the goods, because they're saying they have to spend overnight and the goods they in van and they on port and can't move. And
all right, Mother Bernie from Tobago. So let's see, while now everything is flowing, if the prices will be dropped back. There is it, because they say it had problem with the shipping of the goods from Trinidad to Tobago. Right, shipping is not a problem again. Let's see if they will drop it back. And that's the big question. Remember, I tell all the they're business people. They're going on for an excuse why they can't drop back them prices that they raised by $10 and $25 and things. Watch all they go see. We go for a break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back.
Before the lights flash, before the crowd comes alive, before TNT feels the moment, this is where culture breathes. Sneak peek with Junior K. Hey, we're going deeper than events, taking you inside the soul of TNT. From music, fashion, food, and the tradition to creativity, community, and the real conversations. Catch Sneak Peek daily on TTT and anytime on our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K. It's where our culture comes to life before the spotlight.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Will you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We are back. Time check. It's at 36 minutes past your over 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Remember, we need to go through those the fines. But let me just finish up there quick. Those voice notes, Trinidad and Tobago, Lennox Smith time. So let me just try to play out some of those voice notes that people take their time to make to contribute on the number one program, the Ground Report. So let me continue. That was Tobago, Mother Bernie. Right, and again, Mother Bernie, you are so right. Let's see now if it is that, if it is the business society across there in Tobago, if they will organize now, while boats are running, 5 boats running, thing running smooth now, if they will drop back the prices or if they will keep the prices there. Let's see. All right, let me continue there quick.
Morning, buddy. So yeah, and they're saying the same thing twice. I was just trying to include everything. But the reason I had to step on the bus, man, is because if you leave those things to fester, lies become rum shop talk becomes truth in Trinidad. Winston Churchill once said, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its pants on. And what a lot of these authoritarian states, especially China, has been doing, they know they cannot defeat the West from without. They cannot compete militarily, they cannot compete economically. But what they can do is destroy us from within. Get enough people in the West to hate themselves, to hate their country, to hate the Western system, to hate democracy, to hate capitalism. And that's why the Prime Minister the other day, kudos to her, had to use those 2 words, democracy and capitalism, in her speech, because the two exist together. You cannot be democratic and free without capitalism. The right to own and trade property belonging to each citizen. You have the right to own and trade yourself, right? Most of the world, over 70% of the world, does not have that. And you all just don't appreciate it. And again, the authoritarians in the world, especially China, are trying to destroy you from within, trying to get you to hate yourself, to hate your country, to hate your system. You live in the best time in the world, in the best place in the world for thousands of years. And they're trying to convince you to know, give that up and to hand over power to them, and they will take care of you. And if you don't nip it in the bud, if you don't tackle when they come up with their small lies, those small lies become big lies, and then they become truth.
Morning again. Morning.
Good morning.
If the Muslim community so want to defend Iran, now I'm saying nothing is wrong with that, and you're Muslim, go over there and defend them. What your Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala says, I have to do with that. That's not a Trinidad Tobago business. That's the people you live in. You're Trinbagonian. Stay in your lane. Take the committee, Muslim committee, okay, fine. But stay in your lane. What you have to do with that? You live there? You Irani? We'll go over there then. I'm going to tell you.
Wow. Lennox, Kendrick Prasad in America is saying stay in the lane or go across and live. What's your thoughts if you want to defend Iran?
Yeah, well,
defend them?
I did say that the built-in contradictions is incongruent with a logical, should I say, statement with respect to the concerns that that anybody would have had, whether you are part of that sect or that religious group or not. I could understand, of course, the question of trying to probably use that as a precursor or as a staging point for the argument with those Trinbagonians that are still in Syria. If that is what you want to project, well, do that. But to criticize the statement of Kamala Persad-Bissessar outright, whilst, of course, what is happening in the Middle East and with the particular country that they have a concern for, and they are doing what they're doing in the Middle East. I think it scuttles the attempt to be rational, be logical, and cannot be a cause to hold the government accountable.
Okay. All right, Snipes, you know what to do. You know what to do with that. Next caller, morning caller. Thanks so much for the information. So you go deal with it accordingly. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Barack Paul here. Gentlemen, I just always say, a gun don't kill nobody, a knife don't kill nobody, a cutlass don't kill nobody. People does that with these weapons. Now, again, we see where the entire country is being affected by a small group of miscreants in our society. Forget the police service, forget every issue that we we could bring about to look to divert the attention from the real issue here. These people who committing these crimes and getting murdered and things, do they have families? Do they have mothers? They have fathers? Because when you look at the age of these people, it's like 25, 18, 35, and all these kind of things. It's fairly young people in society. So none of these people don't have parents and things that would say, hey, hear what? Or you're going on the wrong direction, or you're doing something wrong. They don't have a voice into being able to make some kind of change or effect some kind of responsibility in their children. Does these people then just live and exist into a society that they feel that they can do whatever they want and affect an entire country without any kind of consequences? And it all goes back to the behavior and the culture of when people like Satmaraj and them was very vocal in trying to culture the people that they represent for better behavior, for a different lifestyle, to educate themselves. Now we see the fruits of when people used to refer to Satmaraj and them as racists and all kind of notations they would call them, but they stick to their ideology of how a better society would become. Now you're seeing all the institutions that Satmaraj and them govern are the top institutions where education and things is concerned, Lakshmi Guilds and all the Mahasabha schools and all these kind of things. We are seeing, and people are to face reality, that we are seeing many African people killing each other in crime, living a lawless type of behavior. Where's the Emancipation Committee and all these groups that as soon as something happens, they're quick to call racism and create this kind of hysteria in the country? Where are them now? Do they have a voice to come out and say, hey, something is wrong with the way we behave and this crime situation? Because at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with poverty and no jobs and all kind of thing. It has to do with you as an individual making a decision to take somebody's lives or to follow a part of criminal element. We could talk about no jobs and things. We hear over 200,000 Venezuelans coming to Trinidad and Tobago, and all of them working and finding a means of lifestyle and things. Yes, there's a little bit of crime coming from that community also. But why it is they not complaining that they have jobs? And right here in Trinidad and Tobago, they could come and take all the jobs that you all have and want to survive. Who are the people who's talking to this community and trying to tell them something not right? We ain't looking good. If a prime minister who represented an organization for so long could identify and say, hey, hear what? We are looking good, we are the bottom of the economic value, and you never do nothing. You never institute nothing and put things in place to make that community a better place and to uplift them. Who it is to blame? Who it is to blame? And that's the question, because we could spin this thing all how, it come back down to the individual, the lifestyle, and the culture. Are these people responsible for their action, or are they going to keep on blaming some different element
for their problems?
And who are their families? Do they have parents? Have a good morning, gentlemen. Take care, man. Be safe outside there.
Thank you. Let's take that needed break.
We were just told, Andy, just by way of information, around 9 o'clock, the Honorable Attorney General John Jeremy will be making a statement. So Talk City is standing by at 9 o'clock. So keep your dial where it is. Of course, as Andy would say, we have this other big program coming up that, of course, you normally would keep your dial there. But I'm just making sure, just in case you might think otherwise today. So at 9 o'clock, the Attorney General will be making a statement, and we will be covering it live right here on Talk City 91.1.
So Trinidad and Tobago, don't change all the dial. This is a press conference, an emergency press conference by the Attorney General Office. Remember, the big topic was based on a conversation at CARICOM and who kidnapped Brent Thomas. And all of a sudden, the Office of the Attorney General is holding a press conference. Remember, somebody had to be held responsible for the kidnapping.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a nexus. So let's go for the break.
So it has to be a nexus.
And yes. So we go for the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Before the lights flash, before the crowd comes alive, before TNT feels the moment, this is where culture breathes. Sneak peek with Junior K. Hey, we going deeper than events, taking you inside the soul of TNT. From music, fashion, food, and the tradition to creativity, community, and real conversations. Catch Sneak Peek daily on TTT and anytime on our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K. It's where our culture comes to life before the spotlight.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. Time check, it's 10 minutes to the hour. Yes, 10 minutes to the hour to 9 o'clock. And you're listening to Ground Report. Yours truly, the pitbull of radio in studio. Alongside Lennox Smith, the big word man. Not forgetting director Snipes. Well, all right, we look forward to that press conference by the Attorney General Office. And something telling me is Nexus will have to do with the Brent Thomas kidnapping. So somebody might be going and get hold accountable, because I think that portfolio is within his hands. That whole portfolio, that whole scene is within his hands, Lennox Smith. That's how that is going.
Partially, with because there would have been ministerial responsibility as far as acquiring or communicating or deploying that particular plane, and therefore the government part of it is because the government tried to distance themselves from the associating with the work of the police, as you know, that is investigative and operational. So I suspect, that would be from that perspective. And of course, the DPP will have to do their part. If it is criminal, of course, the Attorney General will deal with matters that
are so the Attorney General is what? Like
civil nature,
paperwork?
Of a civil nature, yeah.
So the Attorney General is like what? Put the paperwork together, make sure all the information and evidence of wrongdoing on whoever path, and then send that to the DPP or the police commissioner.
Yeah, and there is where his work would have ended in this particular case.
Oh, so he will done from there. The locking up and the charging will be between
the government, some government entity, some senior government entity would have been involved. And therefore, from that perspective, but if it was a normal criminal matter, then of course they would have left it up to the police to do their investigations, and then of course the DPP will come in if it from a criminal perspective. But if civil part of it, the Attorney General will take care of that aspect of it. Like Brent Brent sue the government, even though it's the police, let's say, would have been involved, but of course, it's the Attorney General will be responsible for that aspect of it.
Okay.
Civil
Morning,
matter,
caller.
as opposed to criminal. Yeah.
Morning. And
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, caller. Where are you calling from?
And Lennox, yeah,
Yes.
from Aruka. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with we African people, you know. Something is wrong because you see that Zozo bill where they fail, they didn't even give it a chance. You understand what I'm saying, Andy? They didn't give it a chance. And now the same areas where they say might be good and thing is where all the bad man and the thing is. And you see the PNM? The PNM is the whole fault and the downfall of the African. You understand?
Okay.
And we trying to the same thing over and over.
Okay.
All right, Andy, later.
Okay. Caller, I want to tell you, let me commend you. I want to tell you, go to the top of the class. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is a beautiful. I was minded, of course,
all right. Let me just play something again because I want to believe it's connected to the same thing that we are talking about. This is Senator Anna Roberts, Double and Coffee, and is asking a big question. Where is the Brent Thomas files?
Asha Javid, what on? You're going against Small Pin and the PNM? They have trouble in paradise or what? Oh, the file gone missing, the Brent Thomas file at the Ministry of National Security gone missing. Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, narcolepsy, sleepy, sativa, wooden ladder, ride a horse with an 8-year-old boy on your lap. What you was doing there? Permanent secretary?
Yeah, permanent secretary, what? Let's hear.
When Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, narcolepsy, sleepy, sativa, ride a horse with an 8-year-old boy on his lap, wooden ladder, Pomsite Hines came to collect a check. Why you walk downstairs to give him the check? Why you couldn't come upstairs or go to the accounting department or the AO4, the AO3, the AO5 or pick it up by the security desk?
Go ahead, Anil. Let's hear.
Desk or the secretary or the receptionist. Why a permanent secretary had to meet a former Minister of National Security now? Or they just saying the file missing? That file would have all the answers. That file is a file that is about accountability, transparency. That file will have who made the request, who approved, who recommended, who signed off, what was the positioning, what was the paperwork, who sent Trinidad and Tobago Police Service officers on an Impax jet, CARICOM jet to Barbados to kidnap Brent Thomas. That is the file which will have all the information about the PNM. Marvin Gonzalez, Marvelous Marva, you run with your knickers in a bunch. You say that file never crossed your desk. Hey, Marvelous Marva, you know nothing. You were the last substantive PNM Minister of National Security. But we go find out the fighting. The truth go come out, you know. The thing in court, Brent Thomas not easing up. The man's reputation has gone through untold damage. The man served this country for decades in all forms and all capacities, to be attacked by Rowley, Smallpin and the PNM, to be abused, to be kidnapped. And Mia more Motley, you just keep quiet, eh? Just keep quiet because you're embarrassing yourself and people who used to respect you have lost.
Go ahead, Senator Arnold.
All respect. So Asha Javi, the file gone missing. We go and ask Ethelbert Hines what he was doing there. Go and ask the permanent secretary why and what check he became a delivery boy to walk down out of the Ministry of National Security to hand Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, narcolepsy, sleepy, sativa, wooden ladder, ride a horse with an 8-year-old boy in his lap, Hines, to give him an envelope in a car park. What is that? That was like the Sesame Street. Shh, the golden hand. Take it to Stan, who'll take it to Fran. All right, man? That's how you do it? I didn't know that's how you do it in national security. But then again, it's PNM. So anything PNM do is okay. All right. Police, Boy Blue, investigate. Go and take a sweat. Bless.
Lennox Smith. Oh, my God. Lennox,
I mean, there you have it. There you have it. We had said here that it had to be more than what they would have told us, both Hines and what came into the public space. at that point in time when that incident took place. And now we are seeing it. And one cannot but
Hines
draw
went
the inescapable conclusion that he has to be involved, of course. And we are hearing that all over the place, including, of course, looking at the statement of the former acting commissioner of police.
Wow. So, wow. I could recall when that whole bacchanal breakout with Hines saying he went to pick up a check downstairs in ministry. After the Lord's general election, the permanent secretary went downstairs and meet him, hand him an envelope with a check.
Yeah.
When he could have just
and we would not have known if there wasn't people who were very observant, whistleblowers. We would not have known because it appears that it was a clandestine rendezvous.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago. Coming up next is the Attorney General press conference at 9 o'clock. I look forward and I'm going to listen to this press conference. Sure, after listening to this press conference. And
tomorrow, of course, we'll give you all the details with respect to the traffic rules to make sure that you are in the safe place. And of course, we want to commend the Minister of Transport, Works and Transport, Julian John, for of course keeping to her promise with respect, of course, to the cargo vessel that is now officially and formally in use for the cargo between Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice.
So guys, I also want to tell them to stay tuned for Off the Record that is now sponsored by TN Tech, 80 years of power, past, present, and future. Congratulations, guys.
Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed.
You ain't get nobody to power the ground report yet. Off the Record is powered by TN Tech. You're supposed to be a senator just now, and you ain't get nobody to power the ground report yet. I can't take this, you know.
Me know what you're talking about, but I know the whole place is powered by TN Tech. All right, my friend. We leave with that one.
No, you can't leave yet. I need to say we are out of here.
So Trinidad and Tobago, after God, family comes first. Be safe on the nation's very road. Let's look forward to that press conference. On behalf of the Ground Report team, Nigel, Director Snipes, Lennox Smith, the big word man, yours truly, the big bull of radio. We are out of here.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business. And a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.